Hello and welcome to this week's video, aka Achatfell does some furry art. But you already know that because it says so in the title. You see two little furry friends here, and if you were brave enough to click on that, for some reason a lot of people don't like furries, but I made the video anyway because they look great. So you are seeing in front of you two characters from some sort of story. I would call it story or an alternate universe that I and a friend of mine, Max, created. And it's more of a historical setting. I probably talked about that in a video, but that was a year ago, or I don't know. So I'm gonna restart for everyone who doesn't know my characters yet. We have this sort of universe of furries in the past. So it's around the beginning of the 20th century, around Vienna, which is a great excuse for me to just keep the buildings and landscapes and everything and just create some new characters into an already existing place. It's a bit lazy, but I like it. And there's some adverts in today's Vienna, posters about the public transport, and usually you just have two different people sitting next to each other and they just be nice to each other, respect each other. And it's just the Vienna public transport saying be a decent person when you're on the bus. And I thought that's kind of a cute setup, and I'm going to use that, but turn the people into furries. So I shamelessly painted a little mouse boy and an elderly squirrel lady, and they're getting along nicely on the bus, and he's reading a book. I'm not sure what he's reading. I initially wanted to also make a cover for the book, but I thought that might distract a bit too much from the picture. So I just left it one color. Again, I'm gonna tell you what art supplies I'm using. I mean, there's not really one specific art supplies. I'm not sure if it's useful for you, but the paper is the Fabriano Blocco Peratisti. I think it's the smoother one because both the red label and the black label are very textured, but one has more texture than the other. I didn't compare them, but I think this is the smoother one. And my watercolors were all over the place. Some of them were handmade, but not all from the same person, so I can't even say which color is which. And for the rest that I don't have covered in my handmade palette, that the basic colors, those are the St. Petersburg White Nights, which most of you probably know if you do watercolor. I think everyone has them by now. I just mixed and matched and hoped for the best, and I think it turned out well. I'm pleased with the result. Also, you don't even have a choice in this. You have to check out my Instagram because I edited the text and made it look like the actual poster from the Vienna public transport. So it's on here on the YouTube video. You can just see the painting, but I put some text on it and tried making it look a bit more real as much as this is possible. And I hope I succeeded. By the way, in the background you can see the red and yellow. That's just a typical setup of buses in Vienna. I don't even know if there's any other kind of bus, but they're usually all kept in red and yellow interior. So you're gonna see that in a minute once I start with the background, but for now I'm just adding some details on the characters. I was a bit looking up fashion in that era or in that time, but it's not so easy because Google gives you a lot of ball gowns and really fancy suits. And I mean, if you're in a bus or on the metro, you don't usually wear your most expensive dress. So I just went for something simple. And I hope that looks rather decent. I do have a few characters in very fancy clothes, but it just didn't fit the situation and it would have looked out of place. So enough rambling. I hope you like that, those characters and the artwork, and if you have some more questions on how I make my art or why the hell I'm drawing anthropomorphic animals, go on, have at it, roast me in the comments. Honestly, I love reading your comments, and there have been some very informative info that you wrote me. Some people have been asking questions where I didn't even consider that was a question. Like, that's actually pretty interesting, I'm gonna answer it. So yeah, I love comments. I love all types of comments. Just throw them out here. That would be very appreciated. And if you stumbled across this video, if you came here on accident and you haven't seen my other videos before, look at them and subscribe, because I make good stuff and you're gonna like the rest too. So I will leave you with the rest of the video, let the music play in the background, and see you hopefully next week if I'm not too lazy to record another video, but usually I upload every week. Yeah, thank you, bye bye, have a great day, bye.